Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Courtside Investor Podcast. I'm your host, the Card Boss, and on this channel, we invite guests from all around Asia Pacific. So far, we had guests from Hong Kong, Singapore, from Indonesia, from Philippines, and for today, we're going to do something a bit different. So normally, we have guests to talk about their collection history, talk about dealers, but in this case, we're going to talk about sports card shows. And as you guys know, sports card scene in Asia has been growing. We recently had a very huge Macau show just a few days ago, and we have more big shows to come. We have the Bangkok show, we have the Singapore SG Car show, and of course, we have the Grade10 Hong Kong show that's going to happen in about a month or about 5 weeks from now. So today's guest is the co-founder, and of course the managing director of the Grade10 show, Mr. Carvin Chan. How are you doing, my friend?
Hi, I'm good. Hi, Pingming. Yeah, nice to meet you guys. Thank you for the chance to me for sharing tonight.
The pleasure is mine. So I was very fortunate to meet you face to face in a recent Macau show.
Yeah,
and I'm a big fan of the Grade10 show, to be honest.
Yeah, thank you.
Great. So I guess what we want to touch on today is to learn more about the ins and outs of a show, all right? But of course, we're going to specifically talk about you and also on the Grade10 show. So, but before all that, so tell me what was the inspiration of having a trading card show or to run a trading card show?
It's a really question that I will be giving a very long answers, but make it simple is that just because of my hobby of playing basketball, or specifically because of my friend who's playing basketball, and he has been working in the jersey industry, I mean NBA jersey, for 30 years. And I have been playing basketball with them and other guys for many, many years. And the inspiration was perfectly from them. And I think I like what I shared with you before. I am not a super expert collector yet. And that's make this experience and this idea really interesting to me to start with. And I am an event organizer for almost 18 or 15 years. Yeah, have been hosting different events, festival, concerts. So creating events is my job basically. But I don't know why suddenly I got into trading card industry. What a huge industry. Yeah.
It is a growing industry, especially in this part of the world. Now, we hear a lot of American card shows. They have card shows every single week, different parts of the US. But card shows has been very scarce in Asia, especially talking about before the pandemic. So slowly after the pandemic, you start to see a few. But right now, especially in the year 2024, 2025, we start to see a lot more traction. Correct?
Yeah. And actually, it's like what I said, I have been an event organizer for many years. But there is one types of events that I never host is an exhibition format. I mean, the seller meets buyer, at an event, which has been my dream, my target to host an exhibitions format event. And then here you go, I meet trading cards and I got into this industry. So that's exactly what I wanted to do. Yeah, and luckily I successfully make it work until now. So I'm very grateful for that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit curious, right? So the name Grade10, I mean, some shows, like for example, we had the Macau show. It's called the Asia Sports Card Convention. That's very straightforward, right? Asia Sports Card Convention. But Grade10 show, what's the the inspiration behind that name?
Because since I have the background of an event organizer, to be honest, we have been hosting different events, and we know an impressive name is so much important for a new established brand. And so happened, one of my partners that she has been visiting different shows, including car shows in Singapore and China.
Yep.
And suddenly
Yep.
one day, other than the basketball friend, she mentioned to me, hey, there are numbers of successful car show happen in other countries. Why we host one show in Hong Kong? And she is discussing with us, hey, what should be the name would be more attractive to people. So we just make it like, what is the perfect one? What is the perfect cut to everyone? So we of course we think of like PSA or CGC 10, right? Or black label or kinds of those words that appear in my mind. So at last we think it's grade 10 would be quite easy to remember. Of course, it's turned out I think quite standing out in the market. People will remember. Yeah, of course, not every cut in our show are in 10, some are in the 9X, but for sure, every cut to every collector should be their own grade 10, right?
Right, you're right. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a cool name, like what you said, directly on the mark. The name is so easy to remember, and it's associated to you guys in Hong Kong. Like always, people say, "Oh, we're going to the Macau show, we're going to the Singapore show, we're going to the Hong Kong show." But when we say that we're going to the Grade 10, everybody knows. Yep, that's the Hong Kong show.
Yeah. And very lucky that we did not pick any specific name which have an intention to do TCG or sport card, right? We try to be neutral. We just want good cards.
Yeah.
We just want good grades, and we don't even mention it's about cards, right? So one day we might go into collectibles. Actually, as a matter of fact, at the very beginning, I have some friends who showcase their valuable collectibles with autograph, like Kobe Bryant last game ticket with Kobe Bryant auto on that. That's the only set that exists in the world, right? And so we are quite flexy in that sense with the name of grade 10. Yeah.
Nice.
That's fun.
Like I say, it's an awesome name.
Yeah.
So your very first show you held was, I believe, last year, 2024, around March, I think. Was it March 2024? Was your first show? Yeah. So tell me a bit about that show. Like, how was the preparation like? Because it's the very first show, right? So what were you expecting? Were there any hiccups? What do you learn, or what do you achieve, and what you did not achieve from that show?
It was really a tough experience. Although compared with the shows or festival that I have hosted, it's much smaller in scale. But to me, it's one of the toughest experience I ever have. The reason why I said that is, first of all, I'm not an really expert collector. I didn't really have a solid connection in the industry. And to be honest, no one knows who's Carvin Chan, what collectors is he, right? I'm just and strangers or amateur in the industry. And even worse is that we have made the decision to confirm hosting the show only 3 months before the date. So we only had 3 months to prepare for the show. And one of the major obstacle, I would say, would be the trust that created with the industry player. Of course, like grading company, collectors, or main retailers, shops, blah, 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 right? How they can trust you. Because, I believe you understand in the card industry is quite sensitive, or they really treasure on credibility, right? When they are showcasing their favorite cards, valuable cards, how could you ensure the show could be properly hosted, right? How it's going to be safe or secured, right? And you attract as many people as you can. But of course, on the other hand, you are not attracting other people who's not in the industry, right? For them, it's not a good move to make the show going to mass, right? For cards, okay? They only want to target collectors. So it took me lots of time to lobby, to liaise, and to persuade people that we had experience in events. We had the passion in hosting this. I think I'm not the only one who worked really hard for that. I need to appreciate my original partners and my basketball friends who had been running the jersey business, right? He's so famous in Hong Kong, right? So I actually ride on his credibility to start creating the show. And he keeps referring people to me, like grading company, card shops, and I start from scratch, step by step, drink lots of coffee with lots of people, and then did lots of work, and then try to make everyone trust who I am and what I'm going to do. Yeah. I think that's pretty tough. It's not about operation. It's not about the tables. It's not about decoration. Yeah, it's all about the trust and credibility. Yeah, of course. When I look back, it's a gambling. Yeah, because if no one trusts me, no tables or only a few tables, the show will not be succeeding like what is going to be happening now. But I placed the bet, and then luckily I got a win, a small win at the beginning. Yeah.
Yep. I guess the first one's always the toughest. Yeah. So for me, it's like I wasn't aware there was a Hong Kong show until after the fact. I happened to scroll my Instagram and I saw, hey, there was a show in Hong Kong. Like, because I'm based in KL, Malaysia. So it's a direct 4-hour flight. For me, even if I was not going to be a vendor, it was something that I would love to, just flying to participate, to attend. But, I only knew after the fact, that Hong Kong had a show, and I was going through the social media for you guys. It was a blast, right? You had lots of things going on. It didn't feel like it was a team that's running it for the first time. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
It seemed like you had a lot of things, lined up.
We pretend to be very professional.
Also you got some celebrities in as well, to do it up. So it didn't feel like it was a team doing it for the first time, to be honest. So I was impressed. Right? So that actually got me to go for the next one. So you decide to hold one in March and then another one in December. They called it the winter show, correct?
Yeah, the winter show. So happened. I think that's all about luck, I would say. The first time we succeed, but it's not really a big show. We only got around 60 tables at the very beginning. And we were not very confident at that moment because 60 tables should not be regarded as a really sizable car show, right? Until it's reached 100 or 150. You see, in Macau show, it's going to be very mature. They have 160 or 80 tables, which makes the show bigger. So at that time, we were not very confident, but somehow the guard suddenly brings up a venue for us. If you notice, we had a partner who's been working in toys, Amazing Toy Show. Right? So they suddenly told my partner, hey, we got a venue at K11. We got 2 weekends, and we cannot take up the 2 weekends, as a whole. So what if you take one of the weekend and then we host another weekend so that we can create a momentum, right? We guess the customer may be similar, so they will know, hey, 2 weekends in continuous manner would be a car show and then toy show. It will make more sense in marketing. So at that time we said, let's try. And the rent for the venue is not that expensive, and it locates right at the center of Hong Kong, Tsim Sha Tsui. And
that's amazing location actually.
Super convenient for tourists, exhibitors, and customers, and a very luxurious shopping mall. And so we decided to make it happen. Of course, it's quite a raw spaces with only a little furnishing. At the very beginning, we are a little bit worried. Will it be too raw, right? Will it be like not well finished? But turn out the vibe that we create or the atmosphere we create was about right, and people
Right.
think, oh, okay, it's a good locations, and we
Right.
got 85 or 80 tables, and it makes
Okay.
the venue really packed, and it
It
makes
was.
it makes exhibitor things. Wow, there were so many people, and the atmosphere are so hot, but a little bit crowd, of course. And
Yes. Yes.
exactly that period is right in the time. I remember that weekend was the promotion of Pokemon Go, the Safari
Right.
game, and then
Okay.
and then it makes it even hotter. Like everyone
Right.
carry their mobile and then play the Pokemon Safari on the street, and then they go right away to
Wow.
our car show after that. Yeah, we didn't
Wow.
plan that. Just God plans
It
it.
just so happened.
Yeah, just happened. So it makes everything just right in time. Yeah,
Nice, nice.
yeah,
So, because I missed the March show, right? So I made it a point that I wanted to go to the winter show, and it just so happened that I couldn't. I think the Macau show was just a few weeks before the winter
yeah.
show, correct? And it just so happened that I couldn't make it to the Macau show due to other commitments. So I knew I was gonna go for the Grade 10 show in December, and I knew I was gonna set up a table as well. And that was my first time actually setting up. So
Yeah.
number one, I was didn't know what to expect because it's the first time me setting up as well as the first time set up in in Hong Kong, right?
We really
So
appreciate the
when I
trust from you guys, because if I were you, how can we like so confident about like flying over from our countries, take few hours flight
yep.
and hotel and blah blah blah, and then trust the organizer with producing a good show. We really appreciate your trust.
I'm very accustomed to flying around different parts of the world because I used to be a professional Magic the Gathering player.
Okay,
So I
yeah.
used to travel to different countries, even Hong Kong. I think I've been to Hong Kong like 3 or 4
yeah,
times for competition. So
yeah.
I'm quite used to just going there, just do my thing and then get out. So, but for this case, I wouldn't say I had big expectation for the show. Like I'm there to have fun, to do some deals and things like that. But when I got there, I was shocked, right? The amount of people, like you said, the space was raw, but one thing I appreciated was the lighting. The lighting was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was bright. It was you could see the crowd. It was just an awesome venue as well. The location was awesome. And the vibe I got was amazing. I was talking to my Malaysian friends as well who came along to the show, and we were saying that, look, this vibe is crazy. Like he went to the Macau show a few weeks before that, and he said it was totally different. The vibe in Hong Kong. So so therefore Grade 10 was like, with the winter show specifically, right, was an amazing show. And the people that you get there was not I guess a lot of locals. You get a lot of local people, and because also that I guess all the Hong Kong shops are there, right? So whether or not these people who came to the show, whether were they customers from this shop or that shop, this was a chance that for them to visit all the shops in one place.
Yeah, exactly. Because due to the like historical culture or original location of the shop, in Hong Kong, there are numbers of older shops that locate in a not really prime location, right? Because of the rents in Hong Kong is pretty high and expensive, right? For car shop, it's pretty difficult for them to locate a shop in Tsim Sha Tsui or right in the middle of the central. But no one is expecting they can get exposed in the middle of Tsim Sha Tsui. So everyone just came here for a visit, right? Due to no matter it's curiosity or just wanting to catch up with their friends. And I think after the second year at K11, we start to understand the DNA of Grade10. It start to have their own edge or advantages, right? We understand we do not have the biggest sponsors or biggest players in the industry, like Tops, Panini, or every card factory. Or if you visit Macau show, there were numbers of big counters, booth, right, from China. They have platform, blah, blah, blah. We know we cannot do this at this moment because of the size of the Hong Kong market. But what surprised us, or what really motivate us, is the fundamental culture of card people in Hong Kong. They are very mature. They have a strong culture and they have a strong energy in their industries. And there are lots of really expert people who has been in the industry for 20 years, 30 years.
Right.
They have really good cards, right? One of the exhibitors was Grand Slam, who is a very good collectors for baseball cards. Okay, they have wonderful cards which can be counted as a rare cards in the world. Okay, so there are numbers of similar exhibitors exist in Hong Kong. So this makes us think we are confident this place should be a good place to host a big shows. Yeah, but really we really need to pay so much effort to persuade card factory or sponsor or grading company to believe Hong Kong is a good place to show the service and product. So we have to work even harder and harder to make them to believe that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So perhaps I'm going to touch on, okay, I mean, last year, so the winter show is great. So we're coming to this year. So you had a show in the middle of the year as well.
Yeah.
And you're going to have one end of this year. And both are in the same location. They're in the Hopewell Hotel.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious. So like the winter show last year was 3 days, okay? And now the one in the middle of the year as well as the one coming up is only reduced to 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. Is there a reason why you decided to scale back and trim from 3 to become 2 days?
Of course, to be honest, cost is one of the concern, and the availabilities of the venue is another concern. Because Hopewell Hotel is such a giant venue, it's almost 35,000 square feet. Okay, it could compare with a giant regular hall at exhibition center. And so we didn't want to take the risk of putting one more day so that the cost is heavy burden to us. But of course, last show we were so lucky, and we partnered with Amazing Toy Show. We cut it into half. 50% is their spaces, and the remaining are the car show spaces. We try to create a momentum between two group of people. That's a test. Of course, the result of the test is not something we expected, to be honest. We truly find that, hey, the customer for toys and the customer cars are quite different in nature. No matter in the consumption behavior. For example, the toys visitor would prefer go very early to grab the limited edition of the toys. And they go into a long queue, right? They are willing to buy more than $1,000 tickets to get a limited edition of the toys. When they are sold out, and then they leave, they go home. And for card, you can spend a whole day, counter by counter, box by box. And then you can open box, you can go grading, and then you can exchange the cards. You have so many things to do, but you don't really bother to get into the place at the first second when the show starts, right? You just take it slow. So it is two different worlds. So, but that's a good test. That's a good test. And indeed, we attract some toy lover to start exploring cards, and vice versa, of course. So I think it was pretty an impressive experience. And this year, November, we will take up 100% space for card, no more toys, because toys, they have their own capacity, which they can take up the whole space. So we both are grown adults for now, right? So we can take up the whole space, and very lucky, we got 130 tables this time, and for now 90% are full already.
90% are full. That's awesome, right? So that's I mean, 130 tables, 90%. That means you're looking at your target of 100 tables already so far. You've crossed the 100 table mark, right?
And but TCG now in Hong Kong is really hot, and cards are rocketing, right? So I think 60% or 70% are TCG collectors. And we try to use so much time to persuade sport car collector to come to a show, and then it's
Right.
pretty tough because in Hong Kong the sport car market now is going pretty quiet before
Quiet.
the NBA
Yep.
starts, and then the tops
Yes.
card are not released, so they only got
Right.
old cards, so they don't
Old
really have
stuff.
incentive to showcase, and then
Right.
that's the case in Hong Kong. Yeah.
Right. I guess one thing like most, like even like talking about the winter show previously, right? So you do attract international people as well, especially from the vendor side. Maybe participation wise, not so many. Like I didn't see that many international people visiting the show as compared to Macau, lah, obviously. But is that your focus on trying to improve the international people to fly in for the show? Is that one of your targets?
Yeah. I think first target would be increasing the nationality of exhibitor and collector.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the first task. Because
Yep.
we are too close with Macau show, no matter location-wise or time-wise. And
Yep.
we truly understand Hong Kong is a free port. So it should
Yes.
be the perfect place you bring in and out the carts with no
Yes.
worry, right? Just 5 minutes ago, my partner's sending me a news that some countries are taxing against some of the cards when you bring too many, right?
Yes,
And
there was a news in Singapore actually
yeah,
specifically. So
yeah,
somebody came back from a card show with a bag of Pokemon cards,
yeah.
and he got flagged. He
Yeah,
got
yeah,
flagged.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
we understand Hong Kong has the edge on this, to be honest. This is the
Mm-hmm.
advantage. But of course,
Mm-hmm.
the bad things for Hong Kong is it's small itself, right? Local people
Mm-hmm.
are limited, right? Unlike China. So
Right.
we try to
Right.
ride on this advantage to try to approach more international exhibitor and tell them, hey,
Mm-hmm.
that's no worry for you to bring cars here. Or even
Right.
we are planning to offer more services, to be honest. What
Mm.
if we provide walk services, storage services,
Right.
so that
Right.
people could
Interesting.
store cards, right? When you buy, when you
Right.
sell, you don't really need to
Right.
put it back to your countries or cabinet or case, right? You can put it here,
Right.
right?
Right.
So we are
Right.
thinking about that, and
Mm.
we believe when the exhibitors numbers going up,
Mm-hmm.
customer will be coming in because there are more
Uh-huh.
cards. Okay, and the direction seems like we are heading to would be maybe for a more mass public because TCG is still dominated. Okay.
Right.
And sport card maybe for high value sport card, most of the cars are in China, right? And China is a
Yes.
huge market, and they
Yes.
may want to stick to the Macau show or in China.
Right.
But
Right.
I've heard from some China visitors, okay,
Yep.
they make such a big amount of money by
Mm-hmm.
traveling to Hong Kong shows because the
Yes.
price difference of the cards are
Right.
pretty
Right.
solid, significant between two
Right.
countries.
r-
Yeah, so
Right.
maybe from that angle we attract more customer from China, but
Right.
exhibitor wise as from overseas. Maybe that's how we work. I don't know. Yeah.
Hmm. I guess my observation from your last show, the one that I went, was basically, I think for us, right, let's say for myself coming from Malaysia or maybe some other parts, not from China, like other parts, other countries, like let's say Australia or whichever, one of the reasons we understand that the Hong Kong sports car market is not the biggest. Okay, I mean, if you compare to China. So, but obviously we're there because we have the opportunity to meet vendors or exhibitors from other parts of Asia, right? You talk about Philippines, you talk about China as well. So the draw is actually, not specifically Hong Kong, but the draw is actually people from elsewhere coming in, similar to the draw of Macau.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah.
maybe on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
So I guess it's about, China people, maybe they feel the same way as well, right?
Yeah.
The draw of having participation from other people from other parts of Asia, from Philippines, from Malaysia, from Singapore, and so on and so forth. So if they can see that coming into Hong Kong, that's actually another destination for them because the proximity between China and Hong Kong is so near.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Got it.
true. And But we are still figuring out the main strategy, to be honest. We just do a try and error, and seems to be it's going to a atmosphere-oriented event. That's point number one. Point number two is, yes, like what you said, it should be one of the attracting spot that tourists or overseas exhibitor would try to come, right? And of course, there are constraints for Hong Kong, of course, like the size of event space, right? And because Macau got different casino exhibition hall to support, but we only got a few, so we have to tackle this problem. I would hope our Hong Kong government would would be more supportive in venue, because there's always make us in a difficult situation when you cannot secure a venue, right? Even you have so many exhibitors, right? Yeah, that's our difficulties.
Got it. So you explained earlier that you started off your first show with 60 tables and then progressed to 85, and then right now you're on track to go for 130, right? So is it part of your growth strategy, to continue to increase the size, or is there, like what you mentioned, because of the constraint of space, there is like a maximum, that you can actually go to, like, a Grade 10 show will never be bigger than this because, that's the biggest space that's available in Hong Kong.
In second year, our assessment, our preliminary assessment was 100 table would be a max for Hong Kong, our assessment. But we didn't expect TCG going that crazy this month or this year. And there are so many new card shops opened and collectors, right? So it make it a little bit surprise for the increase in the number of exhibitor. Up till now, I would again say that 130 may be the max, but I don't know. I don't really know. And of course, if we really work harder or sportcast market in Hong Kong got a little bit improved, there should be even more tables to make the number of sport card and TCG more balancing. To balance out. Yeah. So I hope next time we could really make it to like 150 or 160, and plus some overseas. I think next year the big challenge for exhibitor recruitment would be how aggressive we target the overseas exhibitor, how to make them feel attractive, the package or what. And
I'll
also,
be keen to know.
As
a customer, I'll be interested to know.
Yeah. And if you might notice, this year Grade 10 has been collaborate with a global media platform called Nigad, which is a meme platform on social media with 55 million followers. We hope this collaboration would bring our show to other parts of the world, and they will start knowing what is going to happen in Grade 10 and start to attracting them to consider take a visit to the venue. But of course, we are very cautious, very aware of the pricing of the exhibitor package. It's quite competitive, we cannot like going too high at one point, but we need to bring a balance. And we need to look at our cost, because Hong Kong has a pretty high cost of operating. So we need to make the best balance that everyone could do their business and they can at least get back what they pay, right? That's the primary.
Makes sense, of course.
Yeah. So, but as long as we need to survive, we need to make some money at each show to make us survive. So we are getting the balance. But up till now, it's still okay. And the other point is, many card shows or many people saying that, hey, you need to find someone for autograph, right? For signing. Or NBA style, you may notice in Macau show. That's pretty tough for us, to be honest. Our cost concern will be much higher than other shows, because we have already spending like a huge amount of money in venue and in operation. So when will be the good time to hire NBA staff for autograph? Then this will be a question mark. But I hope we can make it. And of course, I hope this would not be the only selling point, right? I hope everyone
Yep.
thinks we have the best vibe for different car shows, and not just because of one or single NBA star, right? So that's not.
For sure.
Yeah. I think that's not a 100% healthy business model if we just rely on one or two star, right? Yeah.
I think the core is about the show itself, right? The quality of the exhibitors, right? And also the quality of the visitors. So I mean, yeah, those are extra perks. Like, it's a drawing factor for people to come. Like, how you saw Macau.
Yeah.
I personally was very busy at the show, which is a good
Yeah.
thing. Okay, to be even noticing these guys walking in and out. So I guess the quality of the show and the quality of the
Yeah.
participants, it's more important to
Yeah.
people who are interested to to get something out of the show.
Yeah, exactly. And
Awesome.
after all, everyone is very practical, right? If they can get good cards, they can sell good cards. They don't really care
Yep.
who's going beyond the stage, right? Yeah, that's very practical.
Correct.
Yeah,
True,
exactly.
true. So we touched on external growth. I want to talk a bit about internal growth because people sometimes they don't realize, they feel that setting up card shows is, it's an easy thing. Just hire a few people and then off you go. So maybe just share a bit of, some of the history of your internal growth. Like for example, when you first started your first show, how many people you have and working, in your team, and then how has it evolved to today?
We actually the format of operating the show, we are quite experienced, right? We already have good fit people to manage events. I think the main obstacle is to change the team to get used to the nature of cards and the characters or the style of card people, right? Maybe a little bit different from others, right?
Okay.
And the way they handle exhibitors could be a challenge to them because my team is not familiar with cards at all, right? So how exhibitor trust you, how exhibitor thinks you really care about their cards or their booth, that's a tough challenge. And at the very beginning, our internal team for this project is around exclude the helpers, right? Just core team would be maybe 6 to 7 people, right?
Okay.
And when you read our social media, it's very raw and basics. At the very first page for the car show, we just open up a social media and then we do some polls. We don't even have extra resources to place ad, or we don't really know how to do it. And then, and the second time we part with Toy Show in K11, and we start to write on how they doing things, right? They has been hosting Toy Show for 10 years, so they know how they do it. And we learn, and we mix the manpowers. And at that time, we have around 10 core team to manage this project, and the helper is around 50 at that moment.
Okay.
Yeah. And after that, we go into Hopewell, right? Hopewell, even bigger venue. And I think the core manpower is slightly similar. Our manpower of operation include a few main parts. The first part is exhibitor management. Okay, recruit exhibitors, send them package and the CS, and the same group of people would handle ticketing and how to sell tickets or wristband or the way that people enter the venue. And the other team was promotion team, which mainly handle social media. To be honest, we didn't have too much resources like putting a super big ad on the billboard over the tunnel or on the road or whatever. We still don't have resources. But we focus on the social media. And then the third team, of course, the production. It's pretty tough for production team. Even you see, hey, there's only tables, right? There's only tablecloth, chairs, whatever things. But due to the very short setup time and the different exhibitor will have different requirement, or they have the concern, and how they place it into different spot, and the move-in schedule is very tight. Okay, we are not a very big exhibition, so production team is pretty labor intensive at during the event. Yeah, for placing the box, placing the chairs yet. And we are expecting even a more heavier workload for the November show because the
Right.
venue is bigger and we have more
Mm-hmm.
tables. And due to our new partners, we want to put more new elements. And we're
Right.
gonna have a giant setup, and we have a. I can disclose a little bit. We have a super huge amount of Van Gogh Pokemon cards, super huge
Mm.
amount to display
Okay.
more than 500 Pokemon Van Gogh
Wow.
cards.
Yep.
So it will be a very eye-catching setting, but meanwhile, it
Yep.
would be a very challenging setup to decorate, right,
Right.
within such a
Yeah.
short period of time. So
Right.
we need more people, of course. But
Right. Right.
another thing would be, given the cost is so high in Hong Kong, so that's very tough for us. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people always have this impression, setting up a card show is a simple thing, as you say, just put in the tables, rent the tables, just arrange them, and then off you go. So, there is a lot of thought process that goes behind, organizing something like this.
Yeah, and I think itself, when you look at the hardware, it's pretty simple. Yeah, of course, it's a fact.
Mhm.
But I would say car show is a human event. I mean, people to
Yep.
people. Um,
Mhm.
you have to be very aware of how you handle people, right? What I
Mhm.
mean, people is an
Mhm.
exhibitor. That have different needs. They
Yes.
they are expecting a personal services, and
Mhm.
even the know-how of where you put the car shop at which space would be a unique know-how and experience, right?
Right.
How to
Right.
create such a good atmosphere is not by random
Mm.
orders, it's by
Yep.
manipulation. How you put the noisy shops over the corners, the quiet shop just aside, or some tables, if you place what card, they want a quiet place, right? They want to check out
Right. Right.
cards slowly. They want to
Yes.
take it slow. They want to
Yes.
bargain a
Right.
good
Mm.
price. But
Mhm.
for TCG, they want crowd. They want card
Right.
pool. They want shout. They want noise, right?
Interesting.
So
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah. I
different. Yeah.
remember that. I remember in the winter show last year, you had the TCG at the corners, at the L corners, right?
Yeah.
So then you have a big pool of people crowding there. So then, therefore, don't block the traffic for the sports card
Yeah, yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah,
yeah. You
yeah.
you you have you have a point. You have a point right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
you're right also about taking care of the vendors, like the little things, like when the first day at the Macau show, I was set up at the Macau show last week, right, last weekend. So the first thing that we actually noticed was there was no waste paper basket at the
Mm,
table. So
mm.
it's very common, right? You got some little bit of waste to throw,
Foil back, yeah.
leaves or paper, whatever it is, right?
Mm.
And the first day we did not have waste paper bins. So my wife was with me. She was helping me with the setup, and then we had to clear out some of those
Yeah,
plastics and things like that. First day, and says, how come they don't have a waste paper basket? Last year with Hong Kong they had one. So
yeah,
isn't this like a automatic thing that you need to have one?
yeah,
But funny enough was, the second day, right, the waste paper basket actually appeared every table.
yeah. That's very
So
important. And of course,
correct.
cleaning and the garbage handling is
Yes.
always tough because there are more than 1,000 foil bed opened.
Yeah, the wrappers and all this kind of things, right? So
And the slab
yeah,
cards, plain cards, right? People
correct,
just throw
correct.
away the raw card.
Cool, cool.
Yeah. But it's
All right.
okay. It's okay.
Let's
Yeah,
let's take it a bit different. So I noticed recently on your social media you've talked about this networking event, right? So it's
yeah,
called a new card pool. I know
yeah.
I'm just a bit curious. I know you had people from the industry. You invited some Hong Kong shops as well to come over for some drinks and things. So share with us what was this about? What was this event about? And what does it serve?
Uh, it's just because we have never hosted any industry gathering with the industry
Mm-hmm,
player to
mm-hmm,
appreciate their participation. To be honest, after 3 years, without them, we cannot go as successful as what we are. So we really appreciate their participation, and we want to host a casual events to meet up those partners in
mm-hmm,
at one time. And at the same time, we also announced the collaboration between Grade10 and NIGAT and meme strategy, a listed company, that we are going to make things bigger, so that we want our close partner to know our next step first before someone else know it as a
Right.
respect. And
Okay.
we believe our relationship and trust is most valuable. Even we make it bigger, we bring to show to other countries, or we bring it to other venue. I personally have a strong belief of the original trust is always most valuable. The first
Right.
exhibitors, they are the treasure, they are the foundation of the show. So we really want to create a chance to meet them up and then show our appreciation. Yeah, I think this is
Yes.
going to be more regular, and
Yes.
because we know it's really important for them, because during the show they are super busy, right? They sell
Right.
cards, they
Yes.
blah blah blah. But when the show is off, I think it's good for them together. And in
Right.
our agenda, other than industry meetup, we also want to create a Grade 10 collectors club in the futures. We know they are good collectors. Okay, they are exhibitors, but they are collectors as well. We want to create a hub which contain a variety of collectors, which we can engage with them directly. And the reason behind is that we want to have more and more collectors to come together, and we want the industry getting bigger. We want to attract new collector, new investor, new player, so that when more people get into the card, buy cards, the market will be better. So we want to create a community. Okay, so by card show is a public community, it's a mass public, as many as we can. But for a collectors club, that will be a different phasing, right? We want to have some selected collectors to come together. But that's of course in our agenda. We will do it step by step for sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So cool. So I guess with about 5 weeks coming to your next show.
Yeah.
So basically, what do you hope to achieve? What would be considered a success? For the next upcoming show to you.
Our first KPI somehow has been achieved. That we have a okay numbers of exhibitors, right? Like what I said, more than 100 exhibitors. And the second KPI, the second objective is, I think, would be the smooth setup and move in. It's pretty tough for us this time.
Okay.
So many tables, so many setup. Yeah, but of course I'm confident about my team. And after that, I think the primary objective or the ultimate target would be creating a happy event for me. It's simply we keep the standard of the show as last time. We improve a little bit. We ensure every customer thinks this is a happy, fun event. Yeah. We don't really target, hey, how large we are going to be, how much business we generate, or how many tickets we're selling. We are not going to target this. We keep our DNA, we keep our foundations, our edges as one of the happiest and funniest card show in Asia. Yeah. Cards may not be the biggest, may not have Panini or Topps, such a reputable band. We hope they will join next time, but this time we might not have enough space for them, or due to the time limit. But we hope to create that vibe. Everyone remember, Grade 10 is some party or festival of cards that you need to go check out. Yeah, and that's the primary objective. Yeah.
One thing I can add to that is what I noticed was, comparing to Macau, I feel like Grade 10 is a bit more family oriented, family friendly kind of show. So you see like parents who are bringing their young kids, or even kids in their teens walking around the show. You don't see much of that in Macau, obviously. So I see a lot of that when I was in Hong Kong last year. So that's actually very nice to see. And one thing I was pretty amazed is a lot of the local Hong Kong kids, I call them, right? They're actually very financial literate. So
Yeah.
they can do the math very quickly. They can tell you things that's as though that they are stock market experts. So
Yeah.
so
They
I
even
find that very
buy low, sell high in the same event, maybe.
right. Exactly. I had one kid come to my table. I think he can't be more than 15 years old, I think, right? So then after that, he was showing me a very expensive card, and I said, "Oh, how did you buy this card?" "Oh, no, I sold this card. I made this amount of profit, and then I put into this
Yeah.
NBA card, and now it's worth twice." And it's like, this is a 15-year-old or so telling me this. So I
Yeah,
find
that's
that I
funny.
find it very amazing. So probably it's something got to do with the education system in Hong Kong.
Yeah. And I think I hope Grade 10 could create a lower entry point for families and
Mhm,
amateurs, right?
mhm.
When they feel like they can enter the Macau market easily. Because when you
Yep.
get to Macau, you will like feel that, hey, it's for
Like
sophisticated collector,
professionals. Like
professional, or
professionals, right? Yeah,
rich people,
correct.
right? When you look at the
Correct.
cards, so we want to create a slightly lower entry point for the families.
Right.
But to be
Right.
honest, it's quite organic for us. We didn't really
Mhm,
try to manipulate as a family event. But when the market
mhm.
goes in that way, we just let it
Correct.
happen. But as what I
Yep.
mentioned, we have to remind ourselves. After all, TCG is a market, and there are uh, high and lows always in the market, right?
Yes.
Next year maybe
Yes.
TCG, and the next year maybe better, maybe okay, but the year after next maybe it will go lower, or TCG
Right.
getting worse. We have to remind ourselves both cards, sport cards, TCG, or even other
Mhm.
cards, new cards, or even collectibles should be something
Yep.
we should be keep doing, yeah, so that
Right.
we can survive. Okay, not just ride on the bubbles of certain cards, right? So we keep reminding ourselves. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So I guess the last thing I want to ask is, recently, we were at a Macau show.
Yeah.
So obviously, there was lots and lots of things going on, lots of people, lots of happenings. So was there anything in particular, any learnings that specifically that you got from the recent Macau show that you felt that, hey, this is something that I think can work for maybe not for this upcoming show, but for future Grade 10 shows. Was there anything in specific that you picked up?
I think the key learning for me is this time Macau show, I really spend so much time in walking around the venue and talk to everyone. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because I went to Macau show last year, and I wasn't too experienced at the time, to be honest. Yeah, because I just
Okay.
host one or two shows, and then I
Yep.
just take a look as an outsider. But this time
Right.
I was kind of insider, and I met lots of the close partners and exhibitor,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I talked to them uh, one by one, and I will be understand more the difference, the exact difference between Macau show and Hong Kong show. And at the very beginning, we think that there might be conflict or crash or anything.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
there was a feeling at the very beginning, but after this time, I didn't have that feeling at all, because we are running a different format of shows. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the sponsor exhibiting in Macau show doesn't really equal to they doesn't exhibit in Grade 10. It's not
Yep.
mutually exclusive. It's
Yep.
just because of our own Grade 10 problem or timing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We have
Mm-hmm.
our own edges, right? Just like this
Mm-hmm.
morning, Sneaker Dunk approached us. Yeah.
Yep.
Because they didn't appear in Macau show, right? But
Yep.
they are interested in our show. So we have our own thing. Yeah. So
Right.
I think
Right.
the biggest learning for me this time would be I would let my team know we should have a stronger belief and confidence in Hong Kong show. We don't really
Right.
we don't really need to look at Southeast Macau show or whatever show. We do our good shows, everyone will comes and like you, right? You are willing to travel
Mm-hmm.
around. Actually, you don't really
Mm-hmm.
care if there's a good show. You could travel so far to
Yes.
get there. So we should have belief on this, and I think people in car industry are very friendly.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really treat you as an enemy or competitors. So
Sure.
everyone
Yep.
is a friend, to be honest. Even for
Yes.
card hobby or logo man or even
Mm-hmm.
cardsters, right, in Thailand,
Yes.
we are good friends. The key question is how to make the market bigger together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I think we can do more about this by more collaboration. And that's the key. Yeah, of course. We still have more plans of expanding the show. Rather than
Mm-hmm.
just put it inside Hong Kong, we still think anywhere we can go by bringing Grade10 to like, for example, Southeast or Taiwan or what.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
think next year would be I would be have a clear eyes on this potential. Let's see if we can make it to overseas. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. Sounds amazing, right? So what I take away from what you just mentioned is you want to build your own identity, right? So Grade10 wants to stand out on its own, show its strengths, its own individual strengths as opposed of copying, what
Yeah.
other people are doing, correct? So one thing I want to add is, as more and more shows start to appear more prominently, like I believe, Philippines has their own card show every week, but they're small. Then of course China has their own shows and things like that. But the bigger ones are popping up. You have the Mojo Fest in Shanghai.
Yeah.
Okay, then you have one that's coming up. Of course, there's a Thailand show that's coming up, and then
Yeah.
you have one in Taipei as well in
Taipei,
early November. So as more and more shows start to come up, of course, I wouldn't say there's any show fatigue because the audience generally are different, right? Mostly concentrated on
Yeah.
their local market.
Yeah.
But the exhibitors can be the same because if the exhibitors are actually moving from place to place, let's say, for example, from Macau to Thailand to Hong Kong to Taipei, they're actually not, technically they're doing the same thing, right? But they're actually displaying their things for different set of audience, different set of markets each time around.
Yeah.
So that's something that when you mention collaboration, like you talk about Cardster based in Thailand, Macau, Logo Man based in Macau. So you talk about collaboration. That's when you see how you can actually make the exhibitors, move fluidly from one market to the other, and taking some advantages, by promoting to them that, look, if this is a series, like a Grand Prix for Formula One, right?
Yeah.
So take part in the Grand Prix that's within the Southeast Asia region. There is 6 shows in 1 year. If you take part in this thing, there is some benefit, going around. So that could be something that you guys as a prominent show host to work around with.
And
I think
especially
that'd be interesting.
for Grade10, because we try to create a lower entry point, so the market potential would be quite infinite for us. In cars market,
Right.
maybe for sport card, it will be limited to certain amount of people because cars are so expensive. And if you don't really like NBA or sports, you may not be very into sport card. But of course,
True.
sport card has a much more stable and even bigger upside, right? For the
Yes.
crazy amount of money. But for TCG, there's a lower entry point, and even for amateur or an adult, they will suddenly get addicted to Pokemon, right? So I think the potential is infinite. So given that the infinite potential, we cannot see there's a huge competition among the shows. But of course, it should always be clever to set a time or fixed pattern of date so that everyone remember this date would be for Grade10 or 1 or 2 weekends, so that people remember the date. That will be better. Yeah, that will be better because other show would look at to your show and then they will try not to crash your dates. Then it would be better. But for me,
easy for us to plan as well.
Yeah. For visitors, there's so much room to improve. But for exhibitor and sponsor, you don't really want to crash the date. so that they will feel really difficult. For example, this year, there are Taiwan show before us and after us, so there should be some loss of sponsor because of the resources, right? So that's the hard facts. Yeah, that's the hard facts. But it doesn't bring impact to visitor. It doesn't really bring impact. But for sponsors and big players, they might be concerned. Yeah.
Yep. For sure. Cool, man. That's awesome. So interesting conversation that we had, regarding the Grade 10 brand. So I'm truly thankful for you to come and share all these things with us. Before we sign off, is there anything else that you want to share with the audience about whatever that we haven't covered yet that you want to tell us?
I think thank you very much for this chance to share. And for Grade 10, we didn't have so much chance to talk to Southeast Asia customers. So I hope everyone that watch your channels or anyone around would keep their close eyes to Grade 10. Our team are not very professional collectors, but we are professional card show organizers. So I hope everyone would be looking forward to what we are going to do next. And I love to see you guys at any card show. And if you recognize me, just feel free to talk and we can talk about anything about this. Yeah. So grateful. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, man. Thanks, Carvin. So for you guys who's watching this, if you can, come to the Grade 10 show that's happening on the 22nd and 23rd November 2025. It's in the Hopewell Hotel in Hong Kong Island.
Yeah.
Right. And check out the IG for more details, which is Grade10HK. All right, that's it for this one from the Courtside Investor Podcast. Thanks again, Carvin, for coming to the show. And I'm the Cowboys. Till next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Cowboys out.